I'm going to answer a question today that I found on the internet, and it's one of those things that is incredibly popular. Are kettlebell workouts good for women? Before I answer that, I want you to think about, and maybe even write down below, any reason you can think about why kettlebell workouts would not be good for women. It boggles my mind how we're still stuck in a gender difference in training. Bodies are bodies. Now, we could think of a couple different things why kettlebell workouts may need to be modified. Certain exercise, you got to think about differences, shapes, body anatomy, something like that. But for the most part, there is nothing in kettlebell training that male or female or whatever cannot do, okay? It just can, the beauty about kettlebell training is it can be adjusted so easily to fit so many different people. So, kettlebell workouts for women. Let's get to this. Now, granted, maybe men have trained earlier, maybe they have had access to training earlier. I mean, it's 2022. Maybe they played sports and weightlifting and stuff like that was more prevalent for males or guys, whatever. So, football players, different things like that. Maybe they've had access to more, maybe it was more culturally pushed towards like training in general. So maybe they have more experience, possibly. But getting into kettlebell workouts, it's an absolutely great thing. It can be done anywhere you want. So kettlebell training, there's just so much, there's so many things to think about here. A lot of ladies, if you're at the gym, maybe some of those gym goers are just creepy and ridiculous, and you don't want to do these things, do exercise at the gym. Kettlebell training can be done easily at home. It can be done safely at home. You don't need machines and racks and all that stuff. Most of the exercises are very basic. Your deadlifts, kettlebell swings when you're ready for that, cleans and presses, things like that. So I'm trying to think about why kettlebells would be great for women. So let's say mostly, more times than often than not, caregiver for young children would be a lady. Okay? So if you think about this, a kettlebell is a lot of unilateral work. Okay? Kettlebell workouts, if you're doing a single kettlebell, there's going to be a lot on one side, and you can alternate back and forth. It's like wrangling children. Like when I'm telling you, one of the toughest parts of my day is when I have my little 3-year-old just by myself. That dude, he has so much energy running around the house and wanting to try all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's like wrestling kettlebells. So kettlebells can get you, there's a lot of stability, a lot of balance, a lot of coordination, proprioception, endurance. It doesn't have to be based on just strength. I know a lot of ladies don't want to go for really big and bulky. Well, that's the thing about kettlebells is if you want to, you really have to push into that. I really, really want to. I want that mass with strength because it helps me for what I do mountain biking. But I understand a lot of people don't. They're looking for smoother exercising, lower impact stuff, but at the same time, you don't have to be big to be strong, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with being the strongest you possibly can, and kettlebells can give you that. Kettlebell training or workouts can get you incredibly stronger than where you were before by using them, like I said, without putting on a lot of mass, because it's just a little different. You're not holding the weight the whole time, such as a deadlift. Or a squat, different things, barbell-wise. Okay, so when you see a lot of people building a lot of mass using barbells and stuff like that, I understand, or I see that some women might not want that, and I don't understand. I think it's beautiful. The muscle is absolutely wonderful. But another thing about, is it still just I'm kind of rambling here and ranting, but is it just the societal thing where men are so intimidated by strong women, women with muscle, women that are freaking strong? I mean, I want to get past that so much. The most amount of people that I train in person has almost always been on more geared towards female. It's just, there's been more ladies that have trained at my gym than men, and I have some of the strongest. I've seen ladies start with 8 and 12 pound kettlebells and get 70 pounds over their head. Absolutely beautiful. And these are not giant steroid taking, people. They're just they're mothers. They're ex high school, college athletes that just want to maintain good balance and control and just be healthy and have something fun to do. Kettlebell training is absolutely fun because it makes you really focus. It's a meditational thing. So when I look on this stuff, like, or is it safe for women? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. I had a very, very good friend of mine, one of the strongest women in the world when it comes to kettlebell sport, entered a competition, and she wanted to do double kettlebells. And you might know who I'm talking about here. She wanted to do double kettlebells, and they weren't going to let her do it. Why? I have no freaking clue. But they just weren't going to let her. She said, and this is just a wonderful story because if you know her, this is great. She goes, well, then fine. I'm just going to do it right off the side of the stage. And then they ended up making a category for her to do double kettlebell long cycle. And it's just beautiful. It's happened for the last couple years where she's got because of that. But just taking no for an answer. So anyway, women in kettlebells, absolutely great. Do it.